Hi there, I'm Charlotte Allen, founder and CEO of Rebel Success for Leaders. We work with executives and VPs responsible for R&D, engineering, and innovation at primarily food and beverage companies. The topics we share on this channel are critical to change leadership success in any organization. Today, we're talking about when the conditions surrounding a high-pressure portfolio review are misaligned with what good decisions required. It's time that's making the portfolio decision for you. Your transformation review just wrapped up. We're setting the stage here. The decisions look solid. Everyone's aligned. The portfolio is set. But somewhere in that room, 3 problems were just quietly created that will not surface until 2 quarters down the road. Not because the wrong people were there, and not because the strategy was wrong. Every review has 2 forces colliding at the same time. Force number 1 is that legitimate pressure to commit. Stakeholders need direction. The organization needs to move. Force number 2, the reality that the information needed to make the clean portfolio call is almost never complete at this stage. So you have to move on incomplete information. So leaders default. They advance what's already resourced. They preserve projects with vocal champions. They defer the harder question of whether their portfolio still reflects the strategy. None of those defaults are irrational, and all of them accumulate cost. By the time the cost is visible, the decision that caused it is buried under months of a bunch of actions with lost connections. Tracking the root cause of all of that is difficult, if not impossible. Here are the 5 patterns I see most consistently in organizations. Conflict avoidance. Killing a project requires a conversation the review schedule doesn't have room for. So everybody's in a room, you have an agenda and a time allotted for each agenda item, but killing the project is going to derail the entire meeting. So everything stays alive, each receiving enough to maintain motion, not enough to really, truly generate impactful results. Structural misalignment. A near-term ROI story makes its case in 2 minutes. It's easy. It's easy to say yes to. The long horizon capability argument needs 20 minutes of shared context. You have to bring the group along. Everyone needs to be on the same page. And often, incomplete information is part of that. That time's not on the agenda. So the long horizon work loses. But that's often what's driving your future strategy. The adoption gap. The scoring rubric gets distributed. Everyone assumes the change has been made because they're reading the dashboard. What didn't happen was the conversation that would surface why teams will apply it differently. And that means what's the behavior that's going to go into that? And where the political weight will bend the process before it holds. Curated evidence. The data's there, but under pressure, leaders read for numbers that support their direction that they're already inclined to take, not reading for the signals that would complicate the decision. Hollow input. Operations knows which projects carry manufacturing dependencies that will create bottlenecks 18 months out. Marketing has early consumer signals, not yet in the scoring. Other functions are also providing or seeing trends or independent functional data that's not being brought to this meeting. Those inputs require a different session design to surface in order to be effective. Here is an infographic that captures a lot of what we've talked about today in one spot. It will also be available for download in the show notes. The conditions that produce these patterns are structural, which means leaders can address it. The leaders who consistently make portfolio decisions that hold up under later scrutiny are not better at predicting the markets. They don't have a better crystal ball. They're better at designing the process through which decisions get made. That process design is the variable most likely to determine whether the given cycle's decisions serve the organization or quietly undermine it. So the leadership move that we have to recommend here is to redesign the session, not just the criteria. The review format that rewards legibility over depth can be rebuilt. Cross-functional sessions that produce attendance without integration can be facilitated differently. Pairing framework approval with the conversation that's required. A new prioritization process does not change behavior on its own. Organizational readiness to apply it has to be built deliberately in the meeting before the framework takes hold. Master the process, not the prediction. The leaders who consistently make portfolio decisions that hold up are not better at forecasting markets, right? Remember, it's not their crystal ball. They're better at designing the process that the decisions get made in. You can read a much more in-depth analysis at the blog page on our website. There's also a LinkedIn newsletter at a similar topic, and then you could subscribe to this YouTube channel here for insights for STEM leaders. Tell me in the comments which of these 5 patterns showed up in your last portfolio review. I read all of your comments. If this was useful, subscribe. New videos come in approximately monthly. I'd love to invite you to join our virtual conversation, which is designed for executives and VPs with responsibilities for innovation, engineering, IT, and R&D. In these conversations, which are approximately every other month, we share insights, challenges, and strategies for implementing and operationalizing critical initiatives successfully. So sign up at the link in the show notes to get on the distribution list. Thank you. We'll see you next time.